for what we're doing.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So, hi, Mike. I'm Chip Johnson, and so I'm currently I am the student support coordinator at Nicolay High School. But for the last 2 years, I've done that. And prior to that, I was a high school teacher in Milwaukee Public Schools for 10 years. And while I was there, I started CrossFit MPS, which was the first nonprofit and first school-based CrossFit affiliate in the state of Wisconsin.
Wow.
And that happened in 2012, so we've been operating for about 8 years. And kind of my story is I played soccer at UW-Madison a long time ago. And when I stopped, when I was done with college and done playing college soccer, I continued to eat like a college soccer player, and that did not go well. So as I moved down to Florida, my wife and I moved down to Florida. We went to graduate school at the University of Florida, and the first couple of years of my teaching career were down there. And when we came back to Wisconsin, I'm from Appleton originally, but when we came back to Wisconsin, we came to Milwaukee. And when we got here, I started playing, or I wanted to play competitive soccer again, and I play in this league still to this day called the Milwaukee Men's Premier League. And when I got there, I could still play, but I was very out of shape. And so I first started teaching at Marshall School when I got to Milwaukee, and I remember I went to a soccer practice at E-Line after I was done with school. And just got destroyed physically. And I remember I called my mom, or called my wife, and I was like, "Hey, I'm going to be late coming home." And I went to the YMCA and I purchased a membership. And then every day after school, I was running on a treadmill. And then kind of plateaued in terms of my progress, getting back into shape, losing weight, and whatnot. And then I had a colleague who was a science teacher who I taught with, who told me about CrossFit and told me to check it out. And because I was a college athlete at a big university, we had strength and conditioning coaches, and they taught us all the Olympic weightlifting stuff. And so it's something I was familiar with, and I tried it out, and I kind of fell in love with it. And it also kind of busted me through my plateau and got me back to being fit and healthy. And I am now, 38 years old and still playing in this very competitive soccer league. And I totally attribute that to my participation in CrossFit and as a strength and conditioning program. And so I stumbled upon a grant from the state of Wisconsin in 2012 that was called the Safe and Supportive Schools Grant. Okay. And at that time, our school had moved out of Marshall and moved into Juneau.
That's right.
Basically the grant, so another teacher was going to do the grant, and they said, "I want to do it." And the school district told us, like, "You have to do it. Like, This is money on the table. Somebody's got to finish the grant." And so I took a look at it, and I thought I could write it to start a CrossFit affiliate for Milwaukee Public Schools. And so I wrote it, and the state liked it, and they gave me the money.
Congratulations.
And so I got myself and some other teachers trained. We bought a whole bunch of equipment. My principal let me have the weight room and take it over, and I shipped out all the machines, and I moved in a whole bunch of bumper plates and barbells and plyo boxes and all the things you see at CrossFit affiliates. And we started teaching classes after school for free, both students and staff. We've been doing it ever since.
Wow, man, that's huge. That's huge. And so it's still for free. How do you continue to keep it running? Are you accepting donations? Do you continue to write grants, etc.?
So what's nice is the people who run it, we volunteer our time. And even though I've left MPS and I'm at Nicolay now, I still come after school and teach classes back at McDonald Montessori School, which is in Juneau.
Okay.
It used to be Juneau High School. But the people who run it, we volunteer our time. Okay. So there's no overhead there. We'll never get paid. We do it because it's the right thing to do.
Yes, sir.
And then the only other overhead we have, the space is ours to use. The school district loves the program. And so if we have equipment that breaks, we just need to replace it. That's it. Unfortunately, most of the stuff that you use in a CrossFit affiliate, Olympic barbells and things like that, a lot of them are pretty bomb-proof. We don't need a lot.
Yes, sir.
And the cool thing is when we do need something, the commercial CrossFit affiliates in the area
Yes.
are more than willing to pitch up.
That's brilliant.
So like Ryan Atkins,
Yeah.
who is a coach and trainer who owned CrossFit Milwaukee, which was at one time over around Brady Street, and at one time it operated out of the basement of Dominican High School.
That's right.
You know, he was getting some new stuff, and he had some old stuff that was usable, and he just gave me a call, and he said, I got these ply boxes chipped. All they need is a little bit of TLC in terms of some deck screws and stuff like that. Yeah. Come get them. And so I'd come get them. And then, you know, we've had Badger CrossFit do, and CrossFit Groundworks in Glendale do fundraisers for us before, like for their Christmas party and stuff like that. And so they'll just hand over, you know, hey, we had our Christmas party, we did a silent auction, here's $1,000.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And so we have, and a school account at McDowell.
Okay.
To have, you know, like a couple $1,000 slush fund, and we always try to just keep it at around $2,000. And when we spend something, then, you know, we find a way to raise money. The one other way we did it was, so if you are a CrossFit trainer, you have to redo basically the education to keep your certificate every 5 years.
Okay.
And so after in 2017, we were throughout myself and the other coach who helped me found it. We were through our certification, and so we literally put a GoFundMe on Facebook, and you know, by then lots of people knew us. And the course normally, when you take it for the first time, is $1,000, but if you're retaking it, it's only $500. They knocked it in half. So we just needed $1,000 to go for the two of us if we didn't want to pay for it. And we put it up there on Facebook, and we had $1,000 in 2 days.
Wow, that's awesome.
So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. And you had people like, what's fantastic is these commercial CrossFit affiliates, especially with what's going on in the country right now. Like they want to be on the right side of it.
Yes.
You know, which is awesome. And so that's why I mentioned in the Facebook message to you today, CrossFit Groundworks, a couple coaches there reached out to me. One of them is a teacher at Mesmer, and the other is a former teacher. And they were like, we want to do something, you know, like how can we help your program? And for a program that doesn't need a lot, you know, I was like, you know, you guys can come and volunteer and coach classes by us and stuff like this, but the best thing you could do is start a program like mine.
Yeah.
You know, and so I talked to this gal Vanessa, who's a teacher at Mesmer, and I was like, you should start CrossFit Mesmer.
Yeah,
that's what you should do. You know, and I'll help you do it. I'm all in. Like, you know, but one thing I was thinking with this channel, Pep, is like they're looking for something to do.
Yes.
Like CrossFit Groundworks to like help the cause and like support the Black community and support kids in the city and stuff like that.
Yes.
And like I bet you if I introduced this to them, they would probably be willing to create content.
Oh, that's awesome.
On the channel.
That's awesome, man. That's what it's all about. I mean, I'm even seeing, you know, with respect to the social distance and you know, and you know, with CrossFit, a lot of the workouts you can do outside. We can be very creative with this type of style of workout and fitness, and doing a virtual competition. You know, making it competitive with some high school students that had some experience, you know, in CrossFit, either that you've trained or, you know. Oh, this is the next question. Your after-school program at McDowell, and it is all coming to me because I believe you actually gave me the tour at McDowell, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir.
So that's pretty sweet, man. So that McDowell, that after-school program, is it open to all MPS students? Is it almost like a rec program?
Correct. It's open to all MPS students and all MPS staff.
Okay.
Obviously, the hard thing about it is it's located in one place.
Okay.
So like if a kid can't get there in time, you know, like that's always been. We serve obviously mostly the students and staff at McDowell.
Yes.
So we have over the years had a handful of kids from other schools get over there. Okay. I believe now he is a higher rank than this, but at one time, Captain Parrish of the Milwaukee Fire Department. Yep. He was very supportive of us for kids applying to the fire cadet program.
Very good.
And so he would funnel fire cadet kids who got out of school early. He would be like, hey, like, if you want to get in this program and you want to be physically prepared, then like you find your way to Chip Johnson at McDowell, and you go to these CrossFit classes after school.
Okay.
And so we had fire cadet candidates coming through there, and 2 of our McDowell alumni are now Milwaukee firefighters.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because they went through the program, and they were both CrossFit kids who trained after school with us and whatnot. So, and then we've also had, obviously, you know, like the schools, like Story Hill's real close, Burbank is real close.
Yep.
So we do have some staff from other schools that hear about our program, and then we'll have time to drive over after they're done with their school days and participate in our classes.
That's awesome. You know, I think since you mentioned that, this very well is a great opportunity to bring in the Police and Fire Commission, let them be a part of such activities, and you know, even from the standpoint of not just resources financially, but having those individuals, like you said, that do CrossFit, that know the type of you know, strain it is on a body to be an officer or to be a firefighter, period, and you know, preparing so I think that could be really cool to, you know, even, you know, have them involved doing some type of, yeah, I mean, everything that we were thinking is like, you know, all of it sounds great, and then in the back of my head it's like, okay, social distance, you know, how do we do it with respect to that? But man, congratulations, you've been doing this for quite a while, and you know, it's almost like the rugby bit, you know, if we can get, you know, 3 to 4 schools, high schools that commit to, you know, CrossFit, then it actually is like a varsity sport where they can compete.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, and it's I feel like I've been quite privileged because, like, it doesn't cost me anything but time. The stars aligned really well for me.
Are you okay?
It's very low risk for me. You know, if one person shows up after school to train, I train them. You know, if 10 people show up, I train them. It doesn't matter. Like, it's not, you know, I'm agreeing to volunteer my time regardless. And so that's been the fortunate part, is that you know, it's easy to do when you know, if the commitment level varies from the people participating, it doesn't matter.
That's right. That's right. No, you're exactly right. There has to be there. I just saw a kid come on. I don't know if you saw the message, Chip, but as a part of the education piece, you know, the show they used to have, Making a Band. So this is Making a Business for PeppTV. So this is live, and I just saw one of our kids tune in, Antoine Wooden, who very, very good athlete. You know, he needs some support, and I think that CrossFit will be outstanding for him, considering his frame and his commitment level. So this is good. So I think we can jump into the agenda because there's other questions, obviously, that we have for you, Chip. And I see that Virginia Small has joined us. Virginia is a very good friend of mine. She's an outstanding individual. She's an incredible journalist and has wrote for many publications and still does. So, Virginia, if you would like to say a few words, hello. And Chip has joined us now. You know Micah. Chip runs a CrossFit MPS, which is an affiliate. He's also administrator over at Nicolay. Yeah, what you got to say, Virginia? We'd love to hear something from you. I think you're still muted, Virginia.
Okay, myself. Okay. So I missed last week, so I may not be up to speed, but I'm glad to just hear about what's happening in different capacities. And so it sounded like what you were just doing was looking at potentials for linking someone who might benefit from a particular approach.
Yeah.
With Chip. Mm-hmm. And conversely with some other type of program. I wasn't here right at the beginning, but are some of these programs being presented online?
Yes.
Is that?
Oh, talk about Chip's programs?
Yes.
Chip?
Yeah, so we are, we're active on Facebook. And our Facebook page was incredibly important, especially as Milwaukee Public Schools shut down with the rest of the schools in Wisconsin in March. And so we were posting content Monday through Friday in place of classes that we would hold after school. And it actually was kind of a great opportunity. I think it provided us with some of what Brandon's going after right here, in that our Facebook page obviously is outward facing to, you know, a whole bunch of people who are not in Milwaukee Public Schools. And so you had people paying attention that were not paying attention. And obviously you get when you operate a Facebook page, you get all the analytics, the business analytics for free and whatnot, some of those. And it was pretty incredible to see kind of like post reach on a daily basis, you know, obviously partially because everybody was at home as well.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like, it was kind of a really nice upside to that particular situation. So that has been the platform that we've used most. We've discussed, obviously, Instagram trends younger, and YouTube and whatnot, and having a YouTube channel like Brandon's doing is a smart thing to do. And see, for us, it's time, just because we're all volunteering our time. It's kind of finding the time, or you know, and whatnot, like, because we're already volunteering time when we're in school to volunteer after school and coach and stuff like that. So that's kind of been our experience using social media, you know, as a platform to market ourselves, get content out there, things like that. Once again, like Brandon, or like I was saying earlier, it's easy when there's nothing at risk, like when you don't make money or you don't spend any money. Then it's really easy. It's like, oh yeah, we tried to market ourselves, it didn't work, whatever. You know?
Right.
So, like, once again, I feel very privileged for that reason.
Yeah.
We're set up running. We need very little, which is nice.
So what are you a teacher also? You said that this is your after school program, but you're a teacher also?
Yeah, so I was a teacher in Milwaukee Public Schools for 10 years. And now I am in a position at Nicolay High School called Student Support Coordinator. And so now my role is kind of interesting. I coordinate, like, when a kid is struggling, I kind of investigate what his or her needs are, and then I either provide or connect them with the support that they need at school.
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We should have those in all the schools, right? Or maybe we do.
Well, people are asking about what we do there and what I do. And so I know Homestead has a position just like mine now, after we created ours. And it was really, really surprising. But University School of Milwaukee reached out to me and was like, hey, what do you do?
That's
and
awesome.
Like, how do you guys do things over there?
Yes.
And so, and we went out and we saw programs and people, like at schools that do what I do at other schools. You know, we learned from them. We went down to Evanston High School and we looked at the way that they support their students and whatnot. And so yeah, I know it's positions like mine in schools are growing, and it's a way to kind of hit the gas on academics, but also make sure that kids don't fall behind while you continue to do that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's brilliant. No, that's excellent, man. Thank you. Oh, you had something? I'm sorry, Virginia. You were about to say something?
No, that sounds really good. I'm all for that. I feel like whatever this program can do to help draw some students in, their parents or whatever they want, you know, with PeppTV. However, I think that's really important, because, you know, a motivated student will find things, and especially if resources are already available. But, you know, we're looking at people who may not, you know, even if they're motivated, may not have resources. And, you know, so finding all these connections now, I think, is just really crucial.
Yes. No, I couldn't agree more. I think, you know, Chip hit on a really good point earlier when you talk about, when you asked him where can you find his workouts for CrossFit MPS, and he said Facebook, and he said, you know, how surprised he was at how it really works is everyone's at home, and you're exactly right. I mean, that's the whole basis behind what we're doing. It's definitely aligned, and you know, using. I do say this often, that the COVID-19 and this whole pandemic has had a lot of negative, but it's also been a lot of positive that's come out of the situation. And, figuring out how to, kind of take advantage of those points where you can encourage and lift up people is something that we are striving for. And the more people we have, the better chance we're going to have to reach a larger group of individuals. For example, CrossFit MPS, which you guys have been posting, has been going extremely well. Now imagine the 25 people on this committee, go and, see CrossFit, NPS, and they have, give the example, 3,000 friends each, and 10% of each of those friends come to be a part. Now you're talking about major traction. You're talking about, 2,000, 3,000 plus unique organic followers that are going to be participating and joining and following CrossFit NPS going forward. So, I think it's going to take all of our efforts, but it's not a lot. Asking a committee member to share a post is not a really big ask. Especially when it's accessible in your hands, I should say. So just to go on and share and encourage people to follow is very, very important. I think it's going to do us well. Monica, did you want to start, go over the agenda? And then we did launch this week. And as I mentioned earlier, this call is recorded and will be used for making a business similar. Chip, we're doing a lot of rearranging some of these slogans and things like that from the past. So you remember like Mad TV. So when I'm doing this editing, I started dubbing, you are watching PeppTV, instead of saying, Mad. And, like I said, making the band. We're doing this show is making the business. I'm not going to mess with Hupie and Abraham. What's his name? I'm not going to mess with Gruber too much and say one call, that's all, or anything, one share, that's all, type deal. But, whatever we can do, my nephew is working on the design right now for the logo and the schedule. We're looking to create the logo so it looks like a old TV Guide logo. So the 30 plus individuals, or even 25 plus, they know what a TV Guide looks like, and perhaps it would intrigue them enough to pay attention, to tune in when they see the schedule and know that, hey, I can get this CrossFit workout in. I can read a book with Virginia, or watch her prepare for one of her amazing articles or reports, do her research, videotape, the whole nine, even do a reality show with Virginia where, we just, I or one of our students just follows you around when you go to your parks and take your pictures and things like that, and show what it's like to be an investigative reporter, because technically that's what you are from what I've seen and what I've read. Yeah. No worries. All right, so Monica, I'm sorry. Can we get to the agenda? Monica usually gets on me. She's gonna tell me afterwards you actually get to the agenda 4 times and kept talking. So what we got, Monica?
Well, we covered introductions and kind of checking in with people. So now the next point is just more so a brief review of the previous meeting's minutes. And for that,
can I give you the
there's many areas that we did that we will be kind of going through for this meeting as well. So checking in with different people who have possible connections. For instance, Eric, who's on the committee, has known some people with Maker's Fair, Milwaukee, and they reach out to them. And then there's head of a gym that said he'd be interested in doing some videos. And then we have the possibility of his son right now is doing driver's ed classes, so kind of doing a docu-series about the whole process about that a little bit. and then we went through the review of the categories. We have basically 6 main categories that we're trying to hit every day. And so we have news, which is billionaires, cup of tea, news hour that Culpepper has done, but then may expand into doing it as, other people doing it and such, for reporting on positive happenings locally, nationally, internationally. And then we have physical health as the next category, with workout videos, and then mental health, which can cover a variety of like breathing videos, yoga, and even do kind of just checking in people for how it is during these kind of times and such. And then our next category is arts, where we have a possibility of some theater students that may be able to go and have a little overlap into the next category a little bit, but doing a story hour, and they're reading out a book and doing that for some videos. And so then amongst other connections that we're reaching out to, have education, reading, video classes on how to teach at home, instructional videos with some connections with teachers. And then the final category is entertainment, which so far the bulk of that is going to be a good chunk of reality show, docu-series type of ordeals of seeing how things are done, and just try to bring value that way. And there are a lot of possibilities for that area. And then we went through the schedule format, which is even updated even more since then. So we'll go through that soon. And then we kind of wrapped up the meeting a little bit with discussing different strategies for video production process, and also the potential for doing like a Dropbox or some kind of online storage that would be safe and secure, that instead of people sending their videos to us and then we're uploading them, that they can just via email, that they can just submit just straight to whatever that central storage is, and then we can go from there. Just trying to basically figure out the different systems and such that'll help out with the process in the long run. And then that covers it for last week's meeting, and I gave it a little quick rundown. And so our next point is just checking in of programs and connections of committee members, and just seeing Chip, you kind of already mentioned about possibly CrossFit groundwork. So just seeing who's in the meeting right now about different connections that may be able to contribute to PeppTV.
Okay. All right. Well, so you mentioned the before, I guess if we could, because we mentioned about you mentioned the connections. If we could kind of just go over what we've done so far this week, you think, Monica, and then based upon that, we can see if while we're just kind of going through it, we can say if you think of any additional, like she said, artists or developers, anyone that's in business, any thing that can fit in within those categories. Again, those categories are education, physical health, mental health, arts. I always do this, Monica. Arts. Let's start over. Education, physical health, mental health, arts, entertainment, and news. Okay, so those are our categories. So what we've been doing here, let's see if I can pull it up. So I'm going to do a share screen. And when we do the share screen, just so you can kind of understand how the process in which we've been doing and what I guess what our attempts are so far, and it's learning. I can't say that we're definitely learning. And before Monica got on, before it was just Chip and I were talking about how time consuming it is. It can be a lot, and Chip mentioned that as well. So I'm really looking forward to getting. We do have a good amount of interns that we're preparing for, and getting them on board, especially before Monica and Melissa and some of our staff that are here get ready to head back to their destination. So as you can see here, this is everyone can see the share screen. Okay, so this is the PeppTV page. Obviously, we still need to, fill in, some of the profile page, and once our logo is done. But we didn't want to wait on that because it's content that is available now. So we started yesterday with our launch, which began with the actual schedule. So if you are a friend of PeppTV and you like it, what we're asking, here's Chip right here. So what we're asking committee members to do is to go, and when you see, you don't have to do every episode. You don't have to do, if you can do one a day, heck, if you can do one a week, and just, go to it here. For me, we have a number of pages that we manage. So I click there, I would go to myself. All right. And then I would share it as myself. So once I changed it, then I'm going to share as a committee member, and I'll share it now public. So by sharing it now public, everyone's going to be able to see it, my 3,000 friends or so. So if I got 3,000 friends and I can convince 10% of those 3,000 friends to come, that's 300 friends that will be a part of PeppTV, organic, unique, new followers that are now on board. Okay. So we post the schedule, and then I'm posting just so we can get started. We do have some new footage, obviously from the kids and things like that. But because we're doing that Billionaire's Cup of Tea bit for the news, and as Monica mentioned, we will have others, join in and actually do the news portion. So, Virginia's a reporter. You know what I'm saying? Journalist, and she may not want to do the news, but she could, give us a bunch of new information that even a child can get on and start talking about, hey, these are the happenings locally and around the world. Okay, so we started at Billionaire's Cup of Tea, so I'm posting, older videos, but, the content is still relevant for what we're doing, and again, talking about positive things. And as we go along, based upon that schedule that I'm posting, as I post here, so for example, here on the screens, I'm posting 11 a.m. mental health. Okay, so that aligns with the actual schedule. So when you post, I'm encouraging people in the post when I share it to say, follow, like, share, and subscribe, just like everyone does with their YouTube videos. Subscribe to, to our YouTube page. And, we are being very intentional when we do the post on PeppTV to do the post as a YouTube post. So therefore, when people do click on it, they want to watch it, they're going directly to YouTube anyway. So there's no rhyme or reason why they wouldn't like and subscribe. Furthermore, by doing this, again, so we scroll up here, so we're still on schedule, and then it says here, sorry, we're having difficulty playing, but it will come up. So for this example, because I didn't have the actual footage, I still posted a workout from, for my mother and I, but, because Chip and I had spoke, and I'm like, okay, hey, we're here. I have a video right here I can use. Okay, let's post it. So now that's there. So when people click on that video, okay, they can see it. And then again, I put the link in there so they can click on it and they can go directly to Chip. And there he is.
Good morning, CrossFit MPS athletes. Welcome to your workout of the day for Monday, May 25th, Memorial Day.
Chip, you know that guy?
I do know that guy.
Okay, so
He had longer hair at that time.
no doubt, it was a little longer, but again, guys, I mean, I think you get the gist. Like, this is this is something that Monica and I, we're doing a lot of the leg work because we know it needs to be done, and that's like any business, just like you're talking about, Chip. You want to do the CrossFit, you need to finish that grant, so heck, you did it. And it's those type of stories that really, really need to be heard and promoted, because that's what kids need to hear. Those are the stories that, unfortunately, we no longer have at the dinner table with our children anymore. Where, dad's asking how was school today? How was work today? How was work today for you, Dad? Oh, well, I got a grant today, and I wrote a whole grant for myself, and I actually secured the first CrossFit school program. And they might not even know what that means, but they'll be like, oh, okay. So, using this to do as such. And I can say so far it's been going pretty good. Again, more Billionaires Cup of Tea. And then you got Melissa there. She did a easy cooking show. So she prepped a vegetarian meal. And I'm like, hey, Melissa, can we get that film? And, because I needed to cook. Today, we actually had scheduled an executive chef, and he was going to cook at one of he has a client where he's there. He runs all of their culinary arts for their home, and their parties, et cetera. He's amazing. And so today we were supposed to be at his home for that, but because of things happening, it didn't work out today, and we were able to fill in this blank. But most importantly, as I keep mentioning, this is a way for us to promote Melissa. So Melissa's graduated from UWM. She's about to move to Newark, New Jersey, just as Monica. Monica has her blog and her vlog and things like that she's creating, so we want to promote those. Virginia, every time we go out to eat, I ask Virginia, hey, can I see articles? What are you writing? What's new? She shares that information with me online, etc. I want to post that, and furthermore, just to make it even more sweet, we may even do a bit where, okay, we're going to post Virginia's article as a commercial, but then when we come back, the actual show is going to be Virginia reading her article. Okay, so, some people aren't, engaged enough to sit down and read, often, but the segment may be, hey, here's a great article that Virginia Smalls wrote, and not only are you going to be able to read that article, but late on your own time, but here's an opportunity for you to see the actual reporter herself read and talk about how she got that research, how she got that information, et cetera. And hopefully I know that'll be great. So, another here, Sky Schools. So Sky Schools, Ambrose Brown, who's also the board member for MPS, for Pep Nation. That is not Ambrose, but that's the young man that's a part of Sky Schools. And I don't know if you're familiar with them, Chip, but it used to be called Yes. They do the meditation and constructive breathing after school programs. So they recently changed their name, but they do these online trainings. Each episode that we do is between 30 minutes and an hour. As we continue to develop, we want to be able to take, segments and pieces of your video, Chip, and make commercials. So we can dub those commercials in and say, hey, here's Chip, and give a quick little bio, this is what he does, this is who he is, and, do a quick video that you can make, Chip, and just post it to us and say, hey, guys, tune in today, 4 p.m. We're going to be doing a live CrossFit workout with you guys. Only equipment you need is a regular, gallon size of a detergent, whatever it may be, that they can do these exercises from their home, and it's still CrossFit, but without the amazing equipment. And then over time, they can drive traffic towards your gym, get more kids from NPS participating. So this is the stuff that's on there today. I have 4 more videos that I have not yet posted to the Facebook, but still in the process of uploading now on the YouTube. So once they're uploaded on YouTube, Monica and I have discussed possibly even doing the upload early, the night prior. So, and you can schedule it so that it posts automatically. And then whomever is doing the post on Facebook, which is a little more time consuming, a little more hands-on, but they can do so. They can also prep those. So whatever language they're going to use, etc., they can just have that into a spreadsheet, copy, paste, and then off we go. So, I just wanted to go through that just to kind of show you all, where we are, what we look like. If you haven't been to the YouTube page, here it is here. Same thing, PeppTV there in the corner. Chip, we also have discussed, actually taking this, the resources that we have, and it's actually amazing that this is happening this way. So Monica and I, and the committee members, obviously Pep Nation has a nonprofit arm. We work with, thousands of kids, and so we apply for a lot of grants. And in the past, it's just been myself and one other person that helps me and assists me on completing those. My former assistant, who I still love very dearly. If you're out there listening to us, Miss Sapena, we definitely thank you for your services. But now we've taught Monica and Melissa are going through a training on how to write grants, etc. So I say all that to say that it's our hope that we can secure these grants. We are really encouraged to have these partnerships and these commitments with you all because we can use those in the grants. Everything we do, every time, since we started Pep Nation, I always say we. I may have came up with the idea. I may have put a lot of the effort in to get things rolling, but it's always we because there's never one person to get something done. There's always someone that's supporting to get it done. So we can take those funds that we secure from those grants and be able to compensate and support organizations on the basis of, hey, we're doing this as a collaboration. CrossFit NPS needs X amount of dollars to start up another affiliation at whatever school that they're at. So raising the funds, so applying for grants, doing these grants together, so that we can say, Chip says he's going to do this for free, and I get it, Chip, because Pep Nation, I literally did for free. We've been doing this since 2010, and I didn't take a paycheck until 2017. That was the first time that I took a paycheck from Pep Nation. So I totally get it, and that type of commitment is truly what it takes when you're talking about youth services and serving people. It has to be bigger than the money, and that's how things last. So if we can use the funds that we secure to support CrossFit, support additional affiliates in the market, support Virginia Smalls on whatever she may need to get her involved and engaged, etc. And the other 20 plus organizations and individuals that are a part of this committee, I think that's going to be great. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that in there that we can and will use this as a fundraising opportunity. Those commercials that we'll be making also, Chip, eventually we'll still keep those commercials. So when I worked for Channel 12, we called those, none of the sales reps like those commercials because we don't make money off of those, and it takes up space. But at the same time, you have to do that to promote the brand of whatever company that you're working for. So we're going to continue to do that. But in addition, we will be eventually selling ad space. going to Huppy and Abraham, going to Gruber. These guys spend, $250,000 per television station. So it would be nothing for them to contribute, $500,000. And I'm sorry, well, forgive me. I said $500,000. So I meant that. But it would be nothing for them to contribute a couple $1,000s to a new CrossFit affiliate and maybe put their logo on the bench or on the mat, spray painted on there or something like that. So they're getting additional bang for their buck. But so with what we just shared there, and again, this is our second day, so I'm posting all the way into 8 p.m. Are there any other ideas, any other gym owners, trainers, artists that you may have in your wheelhouse, school teachers that you think will be interested in partaking in what we have? That is kind of the question, right, Monica?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and like I said, and then after I apologize. After I'm done speaking, I'm gonna have to excuse myself from the meeting.
No worries.
Yeah, so that, like I said, there's a couple individuals who are from CrossFit Groundworks who might be interested in providing content.
Okay.
For certain, and so I actually messaged them earlier today, and I'm gonna try to communicate with them and kind of give them some visibility in terms of what's going on here to see if they're interested.
Okay.
Because, like I said, they reached out to me probably 2 months ago or something like that and said, we know what you do and we want to do something similar. It was a very open conversation about what's possible in terms of us providing service to the community.
Okay, that's brilliant. Well, Chip, we definitely appreciate your time. Monica and I are going to follow with you, separately as we do all the committee members. Please, if any old film that you have, if you have those former soccer days when your quads were in sections, what I'm saying, definitely fill it, send those in too. Whatever we can do to promote what you're doing, we're very blessed and fortunate to be able to have you on board because you're in it to win it, man, and you have been since the day I came back to Milwaukee. You have been. So I do want to tell you this, Chip, before you go. Your persistence is reflected in the youth that you serve, because I'll never forget those young men. They came to me and they said, "Hey, we were told to call you to play rugby, and we want to do it, and whatever it takes." And they just don't come up with that. They learn that type of behavior. They learn that type of persistence, and that's a true testament to what you're doing. So keep up the great work.
No, I appreciate it, man, and likewise. I think I look around and there's lots of people doing this type of stuff in the city, and I look to you, and it's fuel for the soul to keep doing what we're doing.
Yes, sir. Well, let's keep it up, man. Enjoy the rest of your night, and we'll follow up with updates for where we are.
Sounds good. It was a pleasure to meet everybody. Virginia, Monica, you guys take care. I'm sure I'll see you again soon.
Nice to meet you.
Yep.
So I just noticed that it's pouring rain.
It is.
So Bethany Wyatt, who I've mentioned, would have been teaching yoga over at Victory Over Violence Park at 6, but I don't think that's going to be happening today.
No, I don't think so either. But since you mentioned her, I'm going to run out and cover my car. Monica, can you give Virginia an update? Have you spoke to her lately, Virginia?
Not since just at the end of class last week, but we didn't talk directly about this.
Okay. So give her an update, if you will, Monica, or where we are and what's going on with her good friend.
To see how we can all work together or something. But we have like bars last week.
Okay.
We were able to give an overview of like what we're planning on doing, and then also she provided us with some more information about her videos and such, so we were able to see one of them, and And yeah, pretty much check in with her what would work best for like how many videos we want to do, or it's like we keep bringing out 2 different, pretty much anyone who's interested in providing programming for PeppTV to like if they would prefer live versus recorded, and so kind of had a consensus of like a little bit of both with Barb. So hopefully, I don't know if we'll be doing it this Saturday. It'd be nice if so, but it sounds like Saturday she's interested in doing some live videos of what she does with the movement.
So that it would come through the one that she already does at 10:30, or a different one.
That I think it may be.
She does one several days a week, but there's one on Saturday at 10:30. So
I'll look at that.
that's something that
Something around 10 o'clock. I don't have a hosting meeting.
Okay, that's okay.
I'm pretty sure what you're saying is.
I just because I kind of got the schedule, which isn't the same time every day, so I got the schedule memorized. That's one of the things in my mind that I'm keeping for the moment. But I was wondering if with some of these videos, like if there's a way to have like a video library where people can plug in, at any time, because that would be one service, like where if people know that there's if it's YouTube library or whatever it is, or I don't know, Facebook. I'm the least savvy about all of this social media stuff. But I just did remember, I do have a video that I can send you a link to that you could use. That's a tour of me giving a walking tour of Gordon Park. So that's about, it's a, maybe 10, 14 minutes, something like that. So I can send you that and you can post that. And it's basically highlighting the various aspects of the park and things you can do in the park, and a little bit of the history. And I read a poem at the end, so you get a little bit of me. So, okay, so you remind me if I don't remember to send it right, but I'll when I get off of here, send that. And I did it for James Walk Milwaukee. Brandon, are you still on?
I am. I'm still here. I
was going to ask you about, I don't know this group, but I know several people who've been working with Teens Grow Greens.
What are their name again?
Teens Grow Greens.
Oh, Teens Grow, Teens Grow Greens. Yes, I'm familiar. That is
Charles. I thought you talked about that. So I'm not really familiar with it, but I know people who are working with him, like Dominic Innerly, who's teaching. So I don't know. I mean, it's just another group. But since you already know them a little bit, maybe I don't know if that's another potential connection.
No, I think Teens Grow Greens is a really great organization. I think they're doing some outstanding work here in the city of Milwaukee. So would love to see how we can connect with them and bring them, full circle to, to our efforts. I'm trying to recall the young man's name, but I know Sister Patricia is very familiar with him. When we first started, when we first started, we were at the Dominican Center, our office. Sister Patricia introduced me to Charlie.
Okay.
Is it Charlie Eli?
So like I said, I mostly just know people who are affiliated, and Dominic Innerly is doing.
So we're doing tours of the park. where we can do a virtual tour. We can go live. We can start that virtual tour at one of the time slots that we have for Pep TV. I guess it could call, it could fall in the.
I would be willing to do that.
Okay.
So like what I did with the other one was that I had a friend who did her tablet, and she videoed, the walk.
Okay.
I planned it out in advance, but I could certainly do those in a couple of parks. It's just arranging the time. But like I've done tours of Washington Park, for 2 summers we did that. So now it's not happening this year because of, again, no Wednesdays, Washington Park Wednesdays. But I could do a tour. But that's something I could. I can sign up for doing a tour. At least we'll start with Washington Park. That's a popular park.
Okay, that'd be great. That'd be great because it gives the.
If you wanted to come, it would be great to have of 1 or 2 people doing the social distancing and all that, but to have somebody come along to be talking with.
I totally agree. But
it doesn't have to be. But I mean, it's a possibility. But I've done that part. I've done that a lot. So
okay.
You could do that.
I love that. I love that idea. I think that's something that Monica, we need to follow up with her on, so we can put that in our notes, because I am thinking, we have maybe 2 kids, 2 kids who are performing really well, doing a great job, and that's something that they earn as a tour of the park. In addition,
Are you saying like they would be like the people on the tour?
Yes, they would be. They would be the people on the tour.
Yeah, actually, we could have them use the stage for something.
Okay.
The band show.
Okay.
We could record something. Actually, maybe even have more than one video, because Washington Park Wednesdays. I really missed that, because that was really one of the best summer evening programs. It wasn't just concerts; it was with community building.
Yeah.
So okay, and we'll talk about that one.
Okay. Well, let's definitely follow up on that. I think, like I said, I think that's a great idea. I have my computer. You'll see the video. I'll show it to you because I came to sit outside. I love listening and watching the rain, but it started blowing up on my porch. So I have the computer covered in this towel, and so it looks like but your face is.
You can't show us?
Huh?
You can't show us?
No. Well, you'll see it. I'm recording right now, but your face is on there, Virginia, so it looks like I have you covered in a towel.
Oh. Well, it is raining.
It really is.
I knew it was coming. There was supposed to be just to meet some people outdoor in a restaurant patio, and I said, well, I'm not coming if it's raining.
Yeah, because that means you had to go inside, and no one wants any parts of that. I've been.
I know, you want to go inside.
That's right.
I'm staying with the epidemiologists who are the most cautious.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think that's important, Virginia. Even having conversations about that, like Monica mentioned earlier, and saying, hey guys, they said open up the country and things of that nature. But if you have real people saying, no, we're not doing this. I'm not doing it because of these reasons. Perhaps individuals to be even more cautious on what they do. Right now it's just kind of selfish.
But the city of Milwaukee did pass the mask ordinance.
Yes.
I don't know if you know that. That's news you could announce tomorrow.
Okay.
That's as of tomorrow, Thursday. That the city of Milwaukee. I mean, you could go to the city or whatever. There's probably a press release about it. But I was in on a briefing yesterday. The mayor announced that not be 6 feet away from people masked. It's saying outdoors when you cannot be 6 feet away from people.
Yes.
People. So that's a big day to Wisconsin, only the city of Madison and city of Milwaukee have done that.
Yes, yes.
And people are saying that if everyone wore masks, like in Japan, of just a minuscule amount of clothes.
I can imagine, and we they also announced, because so we've been doing a lot of our international travel, not to jump off. I think we pretty much covered all the points, haven't we, Monica?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so we'll definitely add, that tour that we were talking about with Virginia. I think it'd be wonderful, and then we'll go out for lunch or something like beans and barley out on the patio, or even better, we can just order our beans and barley to the park and eat out in the park. I think it'd be really cool.
Okay.
All right, so that'd be really
Sounds
sweet.
good.
Yeah.
You know, I think that could be like a discussion about making the most of the new guidelines.
That's right.
Like I said, I'll send you. I think I sent you the article, but in my email, at the bottom of my emails, are 2 articles that I've written about kind of making the most of it. Post them or do anything, or if you want to think about anything that's in it that we could do, that would be.
I mean,
I'm still being pushed to the wall with my article that I'm not finished with.
okay, no worries.
So I wanted to just check in because I couldn't be here last week. So.
For sure. Well, we definitely appreciate it. We know that we know naturally you're busy, and everyone's busy, and I am so thankful that all of you have participated. All of you have been willing to be a part of this journey, because, like you said, in light of what can you do? How can you still be creative? How can you still be productive? And last thing I'm gonna leave you with, Virginia, is the Milwaukee CDBG block grant office, and it went extremely well. The piece of the grant that I admire the most is that it is to actually city of Milwaukee accrued nearly $500,000 when you add it all up. So I'm very thankful for the support.
That's great!
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All of anyone who's involved with getting that.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
great.
Yes, ma'am.
Keep me. I'll be. I'll send you the video. I'll do what I do. New things. It'll be a little while. I'm not allowing myself off the leash until I finish this article.
That sounds good. Well, we love you, Virginia. We're so thankful to have you a part of this journey, and tune in, because this will be posted on our Making a Business, a spinoff of Making the Band, if you will. So we're thankful to have you, and I will be posting your article. I think what we'll do. We'll chat. Again. I think we'll have either one of the kids read the article to you, or maybe we can do a Q&A afterwards with the kids to say, maybe one of the coaches will read the article to the kids, and then do a Q&A afterwards with you yourself to say, okay, how did you do your research? How did you figure out that information? And just learn from the guru herself.
Okay.
All right.
I'll send it. There was another article about a couple of the events for Black Lives Matter. There were 2 events I wrote up.
Okay.
So eventually I'm going to do another one.
All right. Well, wait till you see this photo of yourself, Virginia, with this towel wrapped around you. Oh yeah, you're right about that. I got it wrapped up like a baby.
Okay. Good to see you, Monica.
All right. Thank you, guys. Have a great night.
Okay. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Now, Monica, we do have another call at 6, right?
I believe the next call is at 6:30.
6:30. Okay. All right. So let me dry off. I had to run out and cover the Pontiac, so I got it covered now, so we don't get any water inside. So and he's not logging into this call. He's logging into the next call, right?
Correct.
Okay.
It's a new Zoom meeting in the.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. So this is what I'll do. Let me get myself dressed, and then I will post this one here for our 4 o'clock. So that should be able to run through the meeting for Making a Business. and then we'll get ready to record his call. I think that time slot at 6 o'clock is entertainment, or no?
It's kind of like physical fitness and entertainment.
Oh, okay.
I think I kind of like.
We just.
I think I ended up changing the category for today and kind of.
Oh yeah.
Like, evening programming is kind of, with all these different meetings, I changed the names to kind of more of the categories of either education or entertainment.
Okay, that sounds good. We'll keep it as is, which is good. So we'll finish out that programming, and then let me get these posted, and we're rocking and rolling. Great job, Monica.
Look forward to it.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and post these photos of you wrapped in this towel on my computer. It looks so funny. All right, great call. And let's go live. I'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon.
All right, bye. You are watching PeppTV. Let's do it again. You are watching PeppTV. You are watching PeppTV. Pep! Remember Matt TV?